I would like to show you quickly a few things about my project called Sentinel Maximum. There's so much to say and I definitely wouldn't have enough time, so I'm going to have to skip over a lot of things. Those of you that are actually indeed able to build this type of project would anyway not need to hear every little detail, I suppose. So firstly, we have a server-side script written in PHP, which if you were to write this manually would take you about 11 8-hour days non-stop, basically. If it takes you 5 seconds to write one line of code and 10 seconds, 5 seconds to create a file and 10 seconds to write one line of code without any mistakes or coffee breaks, 11 days. So we could say about 3 months, right? But I wrote a tool before this called Joomla Automated Component Builder, which actually wrote this for me. So I had to just map it out in a GUI interface and it wrote the code, which means I actually did write the code, but with a piece of wire scripting actually, or wireframing scripting. Okay, back to the client side of the script. The client side of the script really is a bash script running in command line, firstly with this line here, which then executes this file, or this line here would execute the other. These files are not finished, so this means it's not really actually ready for testing. But if you open these files, you can see there are some globals that can be changed by whoever wants to run this, and then also some other defaults to get a lot of information. And then there's a few methods here, one important being set the cron job here to actually ensure that this script will run from the first time you run it every minute. So every minute it is going to run and is going to send a set of data to the server. And so this actually initiates that. And every time it runs, it's going to run the same script. So that means if it already set itself up as a cron job, here it will then just say cron job already configured. And if it already created a key, it will say the key already exists. And it will use that to set up an authentication so that we can have a secure communication between the server and the client. This is where I'm at in the project. The data sets needs to be extruded and then packaged and sent encryptedly. And yeah, so it's not ready to do that as such yet. At this point, it can at least send us an IP. So we are sending an IP just to check that it works. Okay, so that's looking at the first bash script. It is actually an old script that I actually remodeled for this purpose, which I also wrote myself. So the server-side script runs in Joomla, the Lamborghini of CMSs, in my opinion. Really an amazing framework. If you look at the code, it is stunning, and I would encourage anyone who wants real quality to make use of it. So with that script, I set up a backend called sentinel.hour.mx. It's where it's running currently. I'll probably move it again after this. But anyway, so there it is, Sentinel. Now, this script, you set up a workstation, and then with this workstation, it gets obviously that verification in place and everything with sets of keys. And then every time it queries, it sends a data set. The data set, I have a little GUI to look at how that would look. But just that you know, it actually is stored in separate database in a very robust way or practical way, that the data sets are going to work very well in algorithms that build reports and all kinds of data analysis on the data. So here we have a name for the data value, a type of data value, and a timestamp and the actual value. So this would be a way for you to screen various queries, but they actually will be a little bit much, I suppose. And so we will actually add a dashboard here for every member, every actual station, and this also is not finished, but it's where the project will be going. If you like to follow the project as it grows and matures, just check out this GitHub repository, as I would actually keep this project here until such stage as it is mature. And yeah, it will remain open source. And if any of you are actually interested in joining me, helping improving the code, or even learning some of how it works, you're welcome to start communicating with me. That's it. Our time is up. Thanks for watching. I'm really looking forward to your comments.